etymology. You want to put are you Ron? I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, when you're going to ask questions in the chat's a little tricky. You know, ask whatever you'd like, and hopefully I can help or answer, or we could discuss it. But if you chat too quickly, they give you a timeout for about a minute. So just be casual or not casual, but consolidate your questions or whatever. Today, what I'd like to do, and what the agenda is single strokes, how to develop them. First I'd like to get this out of the way. One of my students, that's Nick Stefano, if you know who that is, went to the contest. I believe it was in Nashville or someplace in Texas, I think. I'm not sure. He came in number 2, but he missed it about 40 strokes. The guy has a set of hands on him, and when I first encountered him, he had problems endurance-wise, and trying to get as many singles as he could inside of the minute. But that's not very musical, and that's not what this is about. But I just let you know, what he accomplished, and I thought that was a good thing. So, let's talk about single strokes. There's quite a few different exercises, both from the stick control book, from Joe Morello's book, and some things that I've come up with for myself and that I teach. What I like to do is, let's discuss first off a 16th note single strokes like this. 3 E and a 4 E and a. And notice my sticks, the heights. They're coming down from the same spot. At this particular tempo, I could wait for the stick to come back before I make the next stroke. As I get faster, I can't wait. And I have this. Now, we're not trying to do this fast right now. So let's analyze that. How do we develop that? How do we get that faster and clean, that the right side and the left side sound the same? Well, I don't know how long you've been watching this, but usually when I do open up the site here, I vamp like this. And I was vamping for 2 or 3 minutes here at 160. 3, 2, 3, 4, left hand. So let's talk about why that vamping is important. Well, everything you do is important, but for this particular exercise, first of all, I use it to loosen up somewhat when I'm in a hurry. I usually use the stick control book, the first page, or do Joe Morello's table of time. But when I have like 5 or 6 minutes before I'm going to make a presentation or teach, what I do is I use that for 3 or 4 minutes just to loosen up. So now let's get back to that vamp. When I'm going like this, the stick comes right back. I'm going to do it the left side. Notice that the right and the left sound the same as a stick control book. Now, if I'm doing 16ths, I'm thinking 1 E and a 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now I'm going to take the left hand out. There's your vamp. Now there's an illusion that occurs here. It looks like you're doing this. And a lot of guys try to do that. Well, what I do is I'm taking the vamp, or the left vamp, and I put them together. Obviously, the left is just going to be a little bit behind, but my left is doing this, and my right is doing this, and they're doing it together. Now, what I like to do, I'll take a vamp, let's slow it way down. And this does come from the stick control book as well. What I'm going to do, 120. I'm going to play 2 measures of that, and then 2 measures of 16ths. Right hand lead, 2, 2. Now, I'll do that for like 3, 4, 5 minutes. Then I'll take the left hand lead. Now what happens with the left, are you right-handed, Ron? Or left-handed? Just put an R or an L, whichever. Don't tell me you're ambidextrous or open-handed or whatever. You were born equalized on the right, equalized on the left. If you're right-handed, okay, if you're right-handed, but you're obviously, like everybody else, the left hand is weaker, so you're always leaning with that right. You know, you pick up a cup, like I'm going to do right now, with my right hand. The phone rings, I pick it up with my right hand. I turn the metronome on, usually with my right. I write out something, I use my right. So now, not that my left is unable to do it, but after all these years, my right hand has been working and my left hand has been on vacation, my left side. So now you're gonna call up your weaker side and say, okay, time to pay your dues, man. So you have to work the left. Now the left is gonna have to do a lot more work at this particular point than your right, only because it's been on vacation. So I come up with an exercise from Stick Control book, and I call it turnarounds. Are you familiar with that term, Ron? Turnarounds. If I'm doing 16th notes, and I want to start, that was a right hand lead. If I want to start the next measure with my left, when I go to 4, E, and it's a paradiddle, so that puts me in position for the left. Okay, so what I do now is this. I go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. So by doing that exercise, I'm distributing the workload to the right side and to the left side. Now I come up with a formula on Stick Control book that right equals the right hand lead, L equals left hand lead. So for example, if I do line 3, that's 2 rights, 2 lefts. My right hand lead, then my left hand lead. So what can I do now to make that transition smooth? Right side, 1 E and 2. Come to a paradiddle. The one where this is really very helpful, besides the whole page, it's a little challenging. But when you get to line 13, 4 rights, excuse me, 4 lefts. So that makes me do 1 measure right-sided, make the transition to the left side. Smooth, not after speed. You understand that so far? You can ask questions, man. I think that you inboxed me, if I'm correct, about having trouble. There was a question, and I didn't get to respond to it because I got sidetracked. But you had a question, I believe, was about single strokes. What I do, there's a few things here that you can do. You can go to the Stick Control book, or to the Joe Morello Master Studies. Okay, if I go to, do you have Master Studies 1? having a hard, there's a delay, but you're gonna need to respond. This way here, we can go on to the page, yes, okay. When I'm on page, if you have it, 55, that's a stone killer, and that's gonna develop some single strokes for you. Now, when I studied with Joe, this book wasn't written yet. And, you know, after years of study, when it came out, it had a red cover. Now they changed the cover, which is okay. The same context is in the book, and it has its value. If I look at the stone killer, and we're gonna do just the stone killer. My computer's messing. Hold on. If you look at the stone killer, we're going to do the stone killer to part 1. Right, I'm going to put the metronome on 120. I'm going to play it from, it's like the triangle, and I'm going to play it line 1, 2, 3, 4, and back, over and over. Five, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Over and over again. Now, that, before the book was out, like I said, I was studying with Morello, and he just killed me with these vamps. 8 measures with the right, 8 measures with the left, a variety of tempos. Then he puts this one together. Now, part 1 is going to be associated to section, it's actually section 1 and section 4. If you take section 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the next time you do it, you're going to use section 4 to first measure. It's what I call a fill-in. And it's not so much the speed, it's the control that you have to make the transition from the left, to the right to the left. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So on and so forth. You see how it's associated, Ron? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to the second line, which is, it's extended as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So I'm going to do section 4 now, the second line, the second line. So I'm going to play this. 1, 2, now the second line. And 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Is that how you practice it, Ron? Is that how you practice that? Now, I'm not using the metronome right now because I'm trying to explain it. With a stick control book is all over the place, and I gotta pick one up right out of the pile here, so here you go. Oh, hold on. What have I got? Probably my son's got it upstairs. Hold on. It's right in front of my face, sorry. What I like, That's good, man. That's what you have to do. Let's go to page 10. Stick control. Now, it's best to do this slow because what you want to do is get a point where the right and the left are equalized. So let's do it slow. Let's go, say, to 60. That's going to be my quarter note. So I have 1, 2, now I'm going to do the first line. 1, all full strokes. Now I'm not concerned right at that point about speed. I'm concerned, well, naturally the timing, but the right side and the left side sound equal. That's where you got to find a point. Once you find that point, you're at 60 full strokes, you're going up here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then go to half strokes, 1. Same principle. Sticks come right back. Okay, then you want to up the tempo when you feel it going on. Now we're not in the contest here. I'm going to be pretty moderate with the tempo. I'm going to do it at 120. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Line 2. Back to line 1. That's where the turnarounds are nice, because if I'm doing line 1, 1 and 2 and 3E and 4E and 1, I can do right to line 2. Now, the sticking combinations 1 through 12 is exactly like the beginning of the book, page 5. And he expands on it with the single strokes. Now you want to do right side and you want to do left side. I wouldn't take 13 to 24 at the moment, because that is the stone killer with the combinations. Let's just work on page 10, the left side. Then we go over, and I usually work on just line 1 and line 2 to develop that right hand lead and that left hand lead. Now this is an interesting page here, because the way it's written, it's a 4 measure increment. You have 1 and 2 and 3E and 4E and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Place it in that last measure. 3E back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just extending the single stroke roll. Now, what I usually do after I feel good about playing the line as written, like I just did, I expand on that. I'm going to do a vamp. Now, the vamp in this case is not going to be 8th notes. The vamp is going to be 16th notes for 4 measures. Let me do the line, I'll stop, and I'll put the vamp on. When you're playing it, you don't stop with the vamp. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, vamp. 1E and 2E and 3. 4 measures. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. Popping the sticks. 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, so on and so forth. Now let me blow this out. Let me just maybe put on 140. With the vamp. 1, 2, ready, zap. 1, 2. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back. Now, what I normally do, I'll do that for a period of time. I have a timer, and that timer is going to say, okay, let's say 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. We can set it for 4 minutes. Because the next move is going to be playing the vamp, extending it. Just play the vamp for 2-3 minutes. And that's going to give you some sort of endurance. So what I'm going to do without the metronome is I'm going to play the line, I'm going to vamp, but I'm not going to go back to the beginning. I'm just going to play the vamp for 2 or 3 minutes. Hold on a second. Let's make it a minute. Come on. Here we go. That's at 140. I usually use different heights. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to expand it. 2. I'm going to keep it there. 4. Okay, I just play 16ths. Equalize the sound. You feel good? Come up high. You feel better? And you want to use some dynamics? Play low. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So on and so forth. I'll hold that out for a couple minutes. Does that make any sense to you? Now, you want to stay with number 1 and number 2. I'm sort of rushing through this because there's other areas I'd like to cover with the single strokes. Everybody just thinks you're playing 16ths, but there's so much more. Do you have any questions on anything that we have done to this point? If so, throw it out there. I mean, I like to keep my stick sometimes very low because you're going to get the same rebound. Because what I like to do now is say, go back, okay, to the master studies. When I go back to the master studies, I'm going to go to the table of time. And when I'm playing the table of time, I played a variety of different ways. You know, I play it as written, alternating the strokes. I'll play it as doubles, paradiddles, so on and so forth. But we're going to use the table of time as a tool to develop single strokes. We're going to work with the groupings of 2, which is the 8th notes. I'm going to play with 1 hand. The triplets. Now, I don't know how you count triplets, but the way I count triplets usually is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for this particular exercise, I'm going to count the triplets as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because we're going to associate that to the grouping of 6. We're going to do the grouping of 2 associated to the grouping of 4. We get the grouping of 4, we're going to go to the grouping of 8. We go to the grouping of 5, we're going to go to the grouping of 10, and if we can, we'll do more. So let's start. First of all, the 2 is just the 8th note, what we did before. 1, 2, 16ths. It's half. I'm using the right hand lead. Okay, let's go to the 3s. So let's associate 3s with the 6s. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to expand on it. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand that, what I'm doing? That was the 3s and 6s. Let's do the 4s and 8s. If I do this, that's half of 8 beats. Yeah. So I have 1, 2, doing a triplet. 1 E and 2, 3, 4. we go to the 5s, and then we're going to go to the 10s. I count the 5s, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm putting the accent on that downbeat so you can hear the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, then I'm going to do 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Now, I'm not going to go to the 6s. The 5s and 10s, the 6s and 12s, they're related, but I don't think of 12s in that way. Okay? So I think that the 3s and 6s, the 4s and 8s, the 5s and 10s be fine. Let me just give you an example of the 6s and 12s. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. But when I actually get playing from the first line to the grouping to 12, the way I subdivide the 12, I'm not going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think of 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. So that gives me 12. If I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 1. Now for each count, I'm going to get 4/16. 1, 2, 3. But let's not go there. Now let's put the metronome. Let's hang out with the metronome. You understand it? You enjoying this? Or am I helping you out there or wrong? Okay. Let's hit the. Mike Clark and I the other day were working on this, and Mike Clark's got a set of hands on him. Unreal. So let's work on, say, the 4s, or the 3s and 6s, or 4s and 8s. What would you like to work on? The 3s and 6s, 4s and 8s. What would you like to do? You're cool, Mike. Ron. Let me tell you, see, I've been doing these lessons on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the month of August. 3s and 6s. Okay. We'll work on it in a second. I just need to announce this. My site, my usual site, the live online lesson site, is being worked on right now, so I shut it down for the month of August. I will be back the first week of September, and plus I'm down to camera. So I'll still continue to do an occasional free lesson on YouTube, maybe a Thursday or a Friday, Saturday or Sunday. But I'm consolidating my teaching days on my site to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, if you'd like, you can become a member, which is okay. If not, that's okay as well. I will, however, instead of doing this on YouTube, I will invite everybody who is participating on the YouTube lessons over to my site for free, and I will do a drum set application of some of the things that we've been working on. So the members, you want to be a member for a month, it's $14.99. You want to do a 6-month case, it's $60. That's 144 lessons for $60. On a monthly basis, it's 24 lessons for $14.99. You get a PDF with each lesson, and if need be, you get a video for a day's lesson. Okay, 3s and 6s. Let's get back to that. I'm going to put an accent on the first note of the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the 6s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. tempo on this. Let's try 100 maybe, just to loosen up. 1, 2, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now, let me slow it down a little bit, so we'll build it to that. Let's go to 80. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now, 1, 2, 3. Now you want to expand this sixth. Back. 1, 2, 3. I'm putting that accent. Do left hand lead. 1, 2, 3, 1. Back to right. Whichever you want to do. Okay? Now you can take that to where you are. I don't know exactly where that might be. But like I said, we're not in a contest. The objective here is to make this sound equal. See, I can think of this as triplets, as an 8th note triplet and 2 16th note triplets. And it's more applicable to play, say, rock patterns or fusion or whatever. Now, do you have any questions with that? I mean, you want to do an endurance thing, you want to put it on 100, you're moving a little bit there, and you got to be loose. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, doing a triplet. What you need to remember though, when you're vamping, like if I want to do a triplet vamp here, 4 measures, 1, triplets, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. It's a half of 6. Very relaxed, and that's going to make you clean. Now, I have some other exercises for the single stroke, but I think that's enough right now. Did you understand everything? I'm going to try to write some things out, Ron, and make a PDF for you, or for whoever wants it. So, let me give you my email. That's Matt Patella 1001 at gmail.com. Okay? Now, if you want, I'll put a little exercise sheet for you together and email it to you, PDF. Also, when you do email me, I will put you on my email list if that's okay with you, and make you aware of what's happening on my sites, who's coming up, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Okay? So, can you come back tonight, Ron? So I need more coffee. I am going to close it up in a few minutes. But I need to tell you, we're also going to have Mike Clark do a live lesson here in studio online. Also, he's going to be doing a master class. I'm not certain if you ever heard of Mark Walker. He's a professor at Berklee College of Music in Boston, and he's going to be doing a lesson here as well. And who else do we have? I have Rob Wallace, And Rob Wallace knowing what people he does, maybe we could get somebody like Steve Smith or whoever, Joe Bergamini, or all those guys. They're all beautiful guys, all great drummers, and all different in their approaches, but excellent musicians. You have any questions, Ron? And if you can come back tonight, I'll be back tonight on at 8 o'clock. Tonight will be a little longer. I ran a little late today with my schedule. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope I helped you out somewhat to give you some new ideas to develop your singles. Okay? So, we have another guy watching. I don't know who it is. Hello, third person. Now remember the email if you want. It's Matt Patella 1001 at gmail.com. No questions, right? Okay, thank you, Ron. All right, gentlemen, time for me to lock up shop and do my practicing. I have to get my singles going on. Okay? Oh, if you're in the tri-state area, one more thing. Mike and I will be doing a clinic together in West Orange, New Jersey. Okay, you're welcome. So you guys have a good day, and we'll see everybody tonight if they'd like to come back. Okay? Have a good day.